Mm-hmm. Yes, Lord. So the name of the class was, I forgot the name of the class. Said, what did it say?
Oh, I think
the mean season.
Sure. Yeah, mean season and spirit of sickness.
That was a last minute title too.
Times to be like that.
It was definitely a last minute title. I think I ain't trying to knock the summer, but I think my hair grows faster in the winter.
Probably. Yeah. I would agree with that.
I'm just because it's like every time close to dedication, I always get my hair twisted up.
Hey.
I do too. Shalom, shalom. Man, captivity got me last week. Well, captivity got me last week. Said no names, says false prophets. On line 6, one body got the truth. Imagine it. Imagine it.
Target quiet.
Shalom, shalom, huh? They said one body got the truth. Well, where did one body learn the truth from? That's what we got to go back to see.
They just got to page the world of music.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters in the chat. Shalom. No, last week I didn't come on, but I said to myself this week, I said, Esau, if you think you got this spirit that's gonna keep me away this time, I'm gonna do class at 11 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, let me know.
You can keep him.
All right.
Cause he ain't facing nothing when he do.
Yeah.
You'll hear that iron start sharpening.
Okay.
Clink, clink.
That's it.
Right? Why do you think, okay, the name of the class is called Mean Season and what?
And spirit of sickness.
And spirit of sickness. This is what happens during the mean season. There's a lot of sickness go around, right? You say, so your girl ain't no devil? Okay. She might not be a devil, but she can't make it into the kingdom. Church. I want one body teaching it. Can your girl make it to the kingdom? What gate can your girl go into if she ain't an Israelite? And tell one body come out with a class and see what gate they can come out, what gate the other nation's going into. Let's do that one.
Going into the back gate for that lemonade.
He wrote something. I think it said view.
No, that was Stop. Says she's not the 12 tribe, she's a devil.
Guess what?
Come. They're gonna get all over them now. That's it.
But I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of times, the people of the Bible, man, you can tell our people the people of the book, man. And it's just like this. It says one body teach the truth. Well, go over and look at one body videos. Why you over here? That's just plain. If one body teach the truth, why you over here looking at the videos? Go over there to one body and watch all the videos you want. Right? Because if you think he can be saved, guess what? The devil is a lie, right? Okay, let's get on and try to touch on the class, man. Brother ain't talking about nothing, right? And guess what? I know a lot of times, even trying to deal with the brothers over there one body. I know a lot of times brothers don't understand the situation, but just you think about No Name that's on the page right now. He don't even know Yefta, right? He don't know the leadership over there one body, right? But we know them though. Guess what? And they know us too.
Come.
All right, Hosea, man. Hosea, traveling grace, man.
God.
Jose, traveling grace to you, man. Like, for real, though. Safe on that plane, man. The Lord God did a pilot hand, man, to take you on in, huh?
Okay.
Go to Mark chapter 13 right quick.
Okay.
Let's get into it, man. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, people come on our page, in all sincerity, people come on the page and they do say things about one body, but I'm going to tell y'all something. That ain't nothing but strife. That ain't nothing but stirring up something trying to cause a division. If I go on somebody, say for instance, if I don't believe in your doctrine, I'm not going to come to your page and try to debate your doctrine, because like you're going to change your doctrine right now. You're not going to change our doctrine just because what you say. Mm-hmm. So if your spirit don't bear witness with the doctrine that we teach, go over there to the place where your spirit bear witness at. Right? Ain't no sense of holding, because there's so many camps out here, man. Right? Mm-hmm. It's camps that teach damn near anything you want to know. Right? Mark chapter 13. Mark chapter 13, verse 14.
The book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 14. Mm-hmm. But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation,
right,
spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
And it was spoken of by Daniel, right? The abomination of desolation, right? This goes in Daniel chapter 9, right? But go ahead.
Standing where it ought not. Let him that readeth understand.
So now it's saying that, guess what? This goes into the last days, coming into this last days, going about, because it's going to speak on about the last days and speak on about the destruction that's happening in the last days, right? But read.
Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains.
Man, flee into safety, man. Read, or to a refuge, right? Read on.
God. And let him that is on the housetop not go down into the house.
Right, read.
Neither into therein to take anything out of his house.
Why is it saying this? Why did you think it's saying this? You can't run back. Just think about all the stories in the Bible. These things connect with Christ. You can't go run back and go get this out your house and go this out. No, when them bombs, them nukes hit, guess what? It's gonna be where it's at.
God.
The ones that's gonna be saved, gonna be saved. The one that's gonna be dead, gonna be dead. Simple as that. This is how it's going. God. Right? Read it.
Verse 16. And let him that is in the field not turn back again, or to take up his garment.
Don't even worry about it. You try to take up no garment, man. Right? But read on.
Verse 17. But woe to them that are with child.
Right, read.
And to them that give suck in those days.
So that's why you got to be prayed up, man. You got to think about it when you saying you got a child. What was going to happen when you try to go get a child? If the Lord told you don't run back to go get the garment, what's going to happen if you got a child that's slowing you down? Well, better let that sizzle in your spirit, man.
God.
Right? These is the last days, and it's something that we need to be thinking about, because a lot of people don't think about these things. They just let these things conjure up, and not for a thought, but they let these things come about and not even meditate on these things, right? But we are in the last days, man, right? Read.
And pray ye that your flight be not in the winter.
And the Lord told us to pray that the flight be not in the winter, man. Right? Because the Lord calls the winter what? What kind of season do the Lord call the winter? He called it the mean season. Right? Let's go get that in 1 Maccabees. That's why the Lord called this a mean season. Because the mean season do what? The mean season, it come. That's why you got to pray for your flight be not in the winter, because the Lord calls these things the mean season. Right? 1 Maccabees chapter 15. I think it's 15. Read it.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 15, verse 15. In the mean season came Benaniyah,
Right?
and his company from Rome,
Right, read.
having letters to the kings and the countries wherein were written these things.
They were written these things, right? Because what they was trying to do, Demetrius, the king, was trying to destroy Simeon or Simon, right? Was trying to destroy one of the Maccabees, man. So guess what? But when they came in the winter, trying to do what? Trying to make a peace treaty with us, though.
God.
Right? But watch this, read.
Verse 16, Lucius, council of the Romans.
Lucius was council of the Romans, read.
Unto King Ptolemy.
Ptolemy. He was the council of Rome until Ptolemy came, right? Read.
Greetings. The Jews, ambassadors, our friends and confederates, came unto us to renew the old friendship and league being sent from Simon to high priests and from the people of the Jews.
Right, read.
Ooh, excuse me. And they brought a shield of gold of 1,000 pounds. We thought it good, therefore, to write unto the kings and countries that they should do them no harm, nor fight against them, their cities or countries, nor yet aid their enemies against them.
So guess what, man? So the Lord sent them in the mean season, guess what, to try to make a league with us. Well, that's why the Lord said you got to pray, right, in the mean season, man. Because sometimes, like you say, what if they had to catch flight in the mean season and they had to flee to the mountain? They'd be out there, it'd be a lot of people starving and about to die and all kind of stuff, man. Right? This is a perfect example of verse on Mark chapter 13 and verse 8. It said, pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, man. Right? Because the mean season is what brings forth death, man. Right? But just also going into when Christ returned, they said, you better pray it's not in the mean season, man. Well, when them nukes hit, you better pray when them nukes hit that it's not in the mean season. Right? When a brother can't run back to go get your clothes, you can't go back and go get your stuff. You can't go get nothing at the house. You got to keep rolling. Right? So these are things, like you say, these are things of the expectation that you have to be setting your mindset on, right? Go to Job chapter 37. I went over this before in class. It's been a while ago. Well, it's been not that while ago, but matter of fact, it's kind of recent. Job chapter 37. And start at verse 1. You start at verse 1.
The book of Job, chapter 37, verse 1. And this also my heart trembleth, and is moved out of his place.
Right, read on.
Hear attentively the noise of his voice.
So hear attentively the voice of the lowest voice. Now, a lot of people say, well, what does God sound like? It's giving you a description on how God's voice is. Right here. Right? It's giving you a description how the Most High God's voice is. Right? It's gonna be something loud. It's nothing quiet. It's gonna be something loud. Why you think they say Christ got the voice of many waters? It's gonna be something loud, not soft. Right? Read it.
And the sound that goeth out of his mouth.
And the sound that goeth out of his mouth, right? Read.
He directeth it under the whole heaven.
Right.
And his lightning unto the ends of the earth.
Right, read on.
After it a voice roareth, he thundereth with the voice of his excellency.
You see how they go? So when you hear that boom and you go over there all scared and nervous, you already know where it come from. All right? Read.
and he will not stay them when his voice is heard.
Right? And guess what? Meaning what? You're not going to sit there and just hear some thunder and stuff and it don't tense you up.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. Boom. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Read.
God thundereth marvelously with his voice.
So God thundered marvelously with his voice. These are the scriptures. It's giving you a description of how God coming, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why you think the perfect example is when you looking at Exodus. You see the smoke in the mountains and the thundering and the lightning. Guess what? It's explaining the same thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, let's go get it, because this is the precept for it. Go to Exodus chapter 20.
God, people still fall off.
In verse 18.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
So this is what goes into on verse 4. He said, and he would not stay them when his voice is heard. He would not stay them. Get what it mean? You ain't gonna stay and stay here. You gonna move far off, right? Just like the children of Israel do. They moved far off when they heard this, man. But read.
Verse 19. And they said unto Moses,
Read it.
Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die.
So they said, don't let God speak with us, lest we die. So this gives a good example. Going into the same thing that Job is what they is breaking down in Job chapter 37, man. These goes one and the same, back and forth. Right? Let's go back to Job chapter 37. There's some more on that I want, so. Yeah, a little bit more I want on that. All right, read it.
The book of Job, chapter 37, verse 5 from the top. God thundereth marvelously with his voice. Great things doeth he.
Great things doeth the Lord do, read.
Which we cannot comprehend.
And it can't be comprehended by men. Right? You don't know what that thunder is saying. You just hear a boom. Right? You can't comprehend it, right? But let's read on.
Verse 6. For he saith to the snow.
So now the Lord is just think about it. He commanding the snow. What man can command the snow to do something, man? Right? This is on a different type of level, man. Right? This is something that we need to be thinking about, because, like you say, the Lord commanded the snow, right? To do what?
And he said to the snow, Be thou on the earth.
So get what? The snow don't come until the Lord say, hey, go cover up New York. Go cover up North Dakota. Go to the top of those mountains and cover up all the Rocky Mountains. Right? Cover up the Appalachian Mountains, man. This is what the Lord do, man. Like at any given time, hey, if the Lord called to whatever he tells you, it's gonna do, and it's not gonna disobey his command. The only thing that disobey the Lord's command is us. We the fools that disobey the Lord's commands, right? But read on.
Likewise to the small rain.
Just like even when it rained, the Lord tell the rain to come too, it's gonna do it. Read.
And to the great rain of his strength.
And to the great rain, meaning storms. Even, okay, a little drizzle, from a drizzle to a storm, the Lord commanded, it's going to do it. Right? Read it.
He sealeth up the hand of every man, that all men may know his work.
So guess what? When he says sealeth up the hand, guess what? That all men may know his work. He give a man an understanding of what to look for. Just like thinking about, watch this. Go to Matthew chapter 16. We're coming back. Hold that precept. Matthew chapter 16. I see, he sealed up man's hand. This is the understanding of what it's going into. Watch, Christ is going to break it down clearly. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1.
The book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven.
So they asking Christ to show them a sign from heaven, right? But watch how it goes into it. Watch how Christ say.
God. He answered and said unto them,
Uh-huh.
When it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red.
So guess what? Meaning what? This goes into the same thing that Job is breaking down. Like you say, it's gonna be fair weather. Say the sky is red. Meaning when the sky looks a certain way, guess what? A man have understanding to see what type of weather we'll have. Right? Goes into astrology.
Come.
Right? Read.
Verse 3. And in the morning it will be foul weather today.
Uh-huh.
For the sky is red and lowering.
You right? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's giving you a description like, dang, meaning that them clouds done drop. Dang, me like you finna have some rain. Right? Read.
O ye hypocrites.
Oh, ye what?
O ye hypocrites.
Read on.
Ye can discern the face of the sky,
Uh-huh.
but cannot discern the signs of the time.
Meaning what? This was why Job is breaking this thing down. We in Matthew's chapter 16. We read verse 2, 3, 4. Okay. Right? The Lord called them hypocrites. He said, you can discern the face of the sky. Meaning what? This is what Job is breaking down in Job chapter 37. Okay. How the Lord give us understanding about different stuff. Meaning to discern the face of the sky. We can determine what weather it be. That's the knowledge that we had. That's some of the knowledge we had. Guess what? They Esau done took from us. Now they do it, and they try to repackage it and give it back to us.
Yeah, what, meteorology?
Yes. now they the storm watchers and everything else, right? Mm-hmm. But the Lord said you can discern the face of the sky, but you can't discern the signs of time, right? Yeah. Verse 4.
Verse 4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign.
Seeketh after a sign, read.
And there shall no sign be given unto thee.
So the Lord said So the Lord said, guess what, man? I'm not finna give y'all a sign. Right? Well, meaning what? In the last days, it's not, guess what? You still might discern the weather. Mm-hmm. But the sign, you think the Lord said, I'm finna just show y'all some signs and wonders we got to be on point with this, man. This is the season of faith, right? He gonna have to test our faith out, man. Okay. Right? Read.
It says, but the sign of the prophet Jonas, and he left them and departed.
So he said he basically gonna give you the sign of the prophet Jonas. What happened in Jonas?
Yeah, he'll tell the Israelites it's being wicked, they're gonna get destroyed.
He said the sign of the prophet Jonas.
Oh, him getting swallowed by the whale.
Meaning what? If you don't do this work, you're going to get your ass swallowed up.
Exactly.
Christ said, hey, taste that one. Christ said, you going to give you the sign of the prophet Jonas. You going to do this work, or you going to get your ass swallowed up.
God.
Swallowed. Right?
God.
Let's go back to Job chapter 37, man. Right? God. Read verse 7 again.
The book of Job, chapter 37, verse 7. He sealeth up the hand of every man.
So he sealeth up the hands of every man. Read.
That all men may know his work.
That all men may know his work. Going into the example that we read in Matthew chapter 16. Mm-hmm. This is a real good example for a brother to have or a sister to have in their arsenal. Or what is it going into, right? Because we clearly reading about weather, right? We just read 1 through 4, and you see how all it's talking about God's voice, but the voice was concerning weather like thunder and lightning, right? Now, in verse 6 goes into snow and big rain and small rain, right? God. Verse 7 now is talking about how man's understanding the Lord gave. You see how in order it goes, God. Right? Or read.
Verse 8, then the beasts go into dens and remain in their places.
So then the beasts go into that den, meaning what? In the wintertime, you will see what? You will see beasts going into their dens, meaning what? Bears, what else? Wolves, what else?
Pretty much almost
alligators, all kind of stuff goes into their den, man. Yeah. Right? I was looking at a documentary the other day. It was just I guess a 10-minute segment. How you'll see In the wintertime, you'll see the alligator. He'll stick his face up out of the thing, and he'll slow his heart. He'll stick the top of his nose up out of the water. So you'll see about this much of his bill or beak or whatever,
Snout.
You see this much of his snout out the water, right? And the rest of his body up underwater, and the whole lake will be froze, and he can slow his heart down to 5 beats per minute, right?
Yeah.
And it can last all winter long, and he can survive. Right? There's all kind of ways that the Lord set up, man.
Good.
Right?
Good.
The Lord set these things up for us to get a better understanding, right? That's why you think he gave us dominion of the fish and the fowl of the sea, so we can be able to search these things out that the Lord gave us, man.
Good.
Right? Read on.
Verse 9. Out of the south cometh the whirlwind.
So out of the south cometh the whirlwind, man. Meaning what? It come storms, right? It come the nature roaring, but read on. Watch this.
And cold out of the north.
And the cold comes from the north. Why you think what you think is right now? That cold weather comes straight from the north, man. It's cold in the mug out there, man.
Yes, sir.
Right? We had hit the high this morning about 7 o'clock this morning, man, and the temperature just went down from there. Right? Because that cold, it goes one way and it comes on back, man.
Okay.
Right? Read on.
Verse 10. By the breath of God, frost is given.
By the breath of God, frost is given. That's pretty tough, man. Guess what? What you think? I'm gonna give y'all something that y'all gonna think about. What's a stick of gum that Esau make?
I know.
What?
Winter fresh.
Winter fresh. That shit crazy, huh?
Yeah, it is.
They just be so crafty, man.
Yeah. Icebergs and all that stuff.
Iceberg.
Yeah.
Why they got all this right here? They ain't getting it for no reason, man.
Yep.
What we was eating? Let me see something right quick. Damn.
What was that Luke 12 and 55?
It was something that, what was Benaniyah? Oh, okay. I'm gonna see something like this. Watch this. I was reading something the other day. Esau crafted, man. It was something I was reading the other day. I'll find it. He just got to come to me, y'all, because it's going to take too much to go into. But they watch us, and they see the Bible. See, icebreaker. That's what I'm saying. You see how they go? Everything all kind of winter fresh and winter this. Because they get it from what they want. Look here, man. They want to make themselves as our God so
Glacier
bad.
water.
Glacier water. I'm talking about everything, bro. Everything. It's got to be.
Ozarka.
For real. Everything has got to be. Right?
That's up on high.
Verse 10 again.
Verse 10. The book of Job, chapter 37, verse 10 from the top. By the breath of God, frost is given. And the breadth of the waters is straightened. It's
straightened. Meaning what? It says how the breath of God gives a fresh, but just think about the water, how cool it be on the water. Just think how cool what's the name of that mug? Just think how cool though. Like when we was just think about if you go camping and you over there by the water and it get and frost cover the thing. Yeah. Boy, it's finna be but you better have yourself right, man. Cause it's gonna get cold out there, man. All right, so go to Genesis chapter 8. Because you gotta think that the Lord made seasons. Right? Genesis chapter 8. And start verse 22.
The book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 22. While the earth remaineth.
While the earth. So the Lord said the longest this earth is here, right? Read.
Seed time.
The Lord says it's gonna be time for seed time. Read.
And harvest.
And it's gonna be time for harvest. It's always two sides to everything, man. God. Right? It's gonna be the time to plant the seed, and it's gonna be time to harvest what you didn't already planted. Right? Read.
and cold and heat.
It's going to be time for cold weather, and it's going to be time for heat. It's always going to be this. Right, Reed?
And summer and winter.
And it's going to be always a summer, and it's going to be always a winter. That's pretty tough.
God.
Read.
And day and night shall not cease.
So it means you said day and night shall not cease. Right? Reason why they can't cease, because the Lord already done declared that the sun gonna rule the day, the moon gonna rule the night. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to go.
God.
Because what the Lord say cannot break. Right? These are things that we must be looking at, especially concerning to deal with. Why you think the Lord say in Ecclesiastes chapter 3? Let's get there. Why you think the Lord said in Ecclesiastes chapter 3? It's gonna be always it's gonna be always a season. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So to everything there's a season, meaning what? People gonna go through phases. Guess what? Not just people go through phases, animals go through phases. Guess what? Plants go through phases, right? The wind go through phases, right? The nature goes through phases.
God.
From the look, your skin. Guess what? When you start out a baby, if you start out as a baby, your skin is soft. The older you get, the stronger your skin get until you reach a point. And then it start getting right back soft again, right? Because everything got to go and it got to return back to where it was once before, right? Everything has to return, right? Go to Ecclesiastes, chapter 1.
All right. I'm there.
Start at verse 6.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 6. The wind goeth towards the south.
Say the wind goes towards the south, meaning what? The north wind goes towards the south, right? Read.
And turneth about unto the north.
And it turns right back up and go right back to the north. It's going to return. Right? Read.
It whirleth about continually.
It's going to whirl continue, meaning it's going to do a cycle. Everything that the Lord does is a cycle. Right? Read.
And the wind returneth again according to his circuit.
He said the wind go back into its circuits, meaning go back into where it came from. It's going to constantly keep doing the same circuits over and over again, man. Right? This is how the Lord make things go to give understanding, right? Jump up, watch this. I'm going to give y'all something a little deeper that you can kind of touch on. Watch this. Jump up to verse 4.
Verse 4. One generation passeth away,
Read.
and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
So he said one generation passed away and another cometh. Meaning what? Let me see, brothers. I'm going to see how your understanding go to. What you got?
Regeneration.
I need more. It says, one generation passeth and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. I need some feedback. What is this going into? Let me see how deep brothers and sisters understanding is.
No end to all the people.
That's pretty good, but I need some more. Them y'all be too broad. It's Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 8 to 18. That's a lot.
What about
Let me see.
Ecclesiastes, well, I just said that, no end to the people. That's Ecclesiastes 4:16.
It said one generation of righteous, then a stronger generation of, through the age and generation, we get weaker and weaker. Though, yes, and all that's good. But I'm gonna give y'all a little deeper meaning of it. And I want y'all to meditate on this. It's a little deeper meaning of this. You can search it if you want. Cause I ain't finna go into it.
Oh, that's that Hebrews 9:27.
Tell me what it's saying.
It says, as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. So Christ was once offered to bear his sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation.
No.
Too broad?
No, it's too broad. I'm going to tell you what it means. It says, one generation passes away and another generation coming, but the earth abideth forever. This is the meaning. The meaning is some people can't be on the earth as up when the other people are. I know that's a broad statement too, huh?
Yeah.
Meaning what? Say, for instance, King David generation had to die before, let's say, Rehoboam, before Rehoboam's grandson.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Kind of like the wilderness. That 40 years.
Just right. It's got to cycle. Guess what? The spirits got to cycle through. So one generation has to leave so the generation can keep cycling through. It says a circuit.
Oh, that makes sense. What the generation is now, we'd be like, what y'all think?
Yeah, it said it's a circuit.
Yeah.
Why you think the Lord said I visit people iniquity upon the third and fourth generation? Yeah, let it sink in a little bit. Yeah, so that's meaning what? Some generation has to pass through so it can cycle through more and more generations. So meaning all people can't be on the earth at the same time. Yes, it's speaking about regeneration, but it's a broader aspect of it, right? That's the reason why I was trying to go into it. I don't want to go too heavy into it because it'll take me into a whole different class.
Okay.
But since we was there, I wanted to just kind of touch on it. So brothers and sisters can meditate on it. See, okay, just like this, to see what is, I'm speaking about regeneration, but what is, but like I said, I'm speaking on it to give clarification, right? Because I know sometimes we read stuff and we'll miss it, right? Verse number 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 7. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full.
Yep.
Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again.
So just like it says how the rivers run, that's how you say how the rivers run, they go right back to the same, thing. Meaning just like this. We might see each other on here, right? You gotta think, just like during the time of, say through the time of Ezra, Nehemiah walked.
Okay.
What who else?
We're doing Persian music.
There's a lot of people walk during the same timelines, right?
Yeah.
But everybody didn't walk in the same timelines, right? Just like this.
Haggai walked in there with them.
Yeah, Haggai walked with them. Esther's walked with them. Nehemiah walked. There's a lot of people walk within them.
Zechariah.
Just like you think about Ezekiel and Jeremiah walked through during the time of Babylon together, right? These things go coincide with each other, man, right?
And Baruch.
So, yeah, and Baruch, and we're going to touch that today. We're touching that today, right?
Okay.
So this is the reason why you're thinking about how a person in this truth, guess what? Our spirits come back, right? The man spirit. Go to Ecclesiastes 6 and 10, right quick. And we finna, Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 10. Right there.
All right. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6, verse 10. That which has been is named already.
Said that which has been named already, right? Read.
And it is known that it is man.
This is man. Meaning the spirit of man keeps coming back.
Good.
You understand that?
Good.
That's why everybody can't walk in the same timelines.
Good.
Right? Read.
Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he.
Right? So because the Lord, meaning what? The Lord sends these spirits back as he will. Right? Everybody can't coexist into the same one. Right? Because if that's the case, then King David would have lived through every damn thing. Right? Or Solomon would have lived through everything. You think King David couldn't even see the temple being built? You see what I'm saying? He died, and after King David died, the temples had started being built. Right? You guys got to think about these things, man. Right? Going into, like you say, just kind of touching on like the mean season on how weathers go and how just touching on weather and how things go from winter to summer to spring, right? Seed time and harvest, right? But it even goes into our high holy days, right? Go to Leviticus chapter 23, because these things do mean something, right? Leviticus chapter 23, read verse 1.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and saying to them,
What he say?
concerning the feast of the Lord,
Concerning the feast of the Lord, read.
which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
So he said, the Lord said that in these holy convocations, right? He said these gonna be feasts of the Lord. Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord.
And it's gonna go into the feast of the Lord, read.
Even holy convocations.
And he said these gonna be holy convocations, read.
Which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
And the Lord said these things have to be proclaimed in their seasons, man. Right? Shalom, shalom to the brothers and sisters in the chat, man. Shalom. Right, Israel. All right. I said he in the Mile High Club, man. I hope you're not in the Mile High Club.
What's that?
Jose.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. They did up and done it. Right?
Go.
Just think about it. Just think about Christ. Yeah. Just think about Christ and when he was teaching during the Passover. What else? Like he was teaching the Passover. He was teaching during he was at the temple during dedication. Yes, just right. Big Con. He said just like summer and winter can't happen at the same time. Just right. Goes one in the same. Guess what? Big Con. Big Con. Right? Just like the Lord's high holy days. Just think about the Lord's high holy days. You can't have dedication in the summer. Right? Because it's got to be in the seasons, right? You can't have Passover in the winter. Because it's supposed to be the first day of the year. I mean, it's supposed to be during the first month of the year. Right? You can't have, what's that, Feast of Weeks. Right? During winter.
What, first fruits? Yeah.
First fruits has got to be like I say, this is a summer type of deal, right? Go to John chapter 10. In verse 22.
The book of John, chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication.
And it was a feast of dedication, read.
And it was winter.
And it was winter, right? Meaning what? Our feast of dedication has to be what? In the winter. You didn't read about the feast of dedication in Leviticus chapter 23 when the Lord gave all the feast days, because we have always been dedicating the temples. Right? We'd always been dedicating things to the Lord. And guess what? The Lord just proclaimed a high holy day. Right? And so even if Christ himself, right, read verse 23.
Verse 23. And Yahweh shall walk in the temple in Solomon's porch. So
Christ walked in Solomon's porch during the Feast of Dedication, meaning he was what? He was in Jerusalem, keeping the dedication, right? So these things has to be in they dang on seasons, man. There ain't nowhere else around it, man.
You want me to get that Maccabees 4?
No. I'm
I'm
going to show you something. I'm going to tell you one of the main problems. Y'all already knew somebody going to put in the chat. Abraham did. Big con on that, Abraham. Maccabees chapter 4, verse 59. I'm going to show you one of the main problems. What happened? Okay, The animals, they hibernate, right? Watch this. Proverbs chapter 20. Proverbs chapter 20.
All right, what verse?
Verse 4.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 4.
Right?
The sluggard.
The what?
The sluggard.
So now we finna get ready to go into a sluggard. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Will not plow by reason of the cold.
It's not, guess what? Meaning the sluggard is not gonna get out and do no work when it get cold.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I ain't going out there to do nothing. Right?
Yeah.
This is how a lot of time people think about this, man. Right? But it comes every time, like when the weather changes. Get what a slugger be like, shit, it's too hot out there, man. I ain't getting out there, it's too hot. Then the slugger be like, shoot, I ain't gonna get out there, it's too cold. How you think the Lord feel about those things, man? Right? He said the slugger will not plow by reason of the cold. Meaning he's not gonna get out here and do no work. But the Lord said be instant in season and out of season, man. Right? It ain't that we in our homeland, we got 1,000 slaves and we can just, no, it ain't. If it was set up that way and we had it that way, we would do it that way. But since we don't have it that way, we got to get up and fight, man. Right?
Let me finish it.
Yeah, finish it out.
Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing.
So the Lord said, guess what? When a person don't want to get up, right? During the time, just like this winter time, man. You don't want to get up and work. You don't want to do nothing. Guess what the Lord said? In summertime, you're going to be begging. Right? It said, therefore, shall he beg in harvest. Meaning, guess what? During seed time, you didn't want to do nothing. The time to gather the seed.
Hey.
Right? Jump over to chapter 19 and verse 15, man.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep.
Right?
And an idle soul shall suffer hunger.
This is what this going into, man. Right? This is exactly what this going into. An idle soul causes hunger. Meaning what? A lot of time people, guess what? When you sitting at the house and you ain't doing nothing and you can be reading and building your spirit up, guess what? People need to be spiritually fed. Right? But a lot of people not being spiritually fed. Why? Because guess what? There's slothfulness on there. And their spirit be hungry for these scriptures, man. Right? Read.
An idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul.
He that keepeth the commandment. Why does it say he that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, man? Read.
But he that despiseth his ways shall die.
But he that despises his ways, guess what? You're going to die in this truth, man. It's going to be a spiritual death, man. Right?
God.
And this is something that the Lord don't, he don't take no pity in these type of things, man.
God.
Right? The Lord don't take no pity in these type of things that brothers don't want to get up and do the work. Jump over, I said, pull Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 13, man.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 13. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason.
Wait, what we at, my bad? Verse 16.
Oh, I read 16, my bad.
He said the sluggard, we can read it. It says, Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 16. And it reads, it said, the sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. I need an answer for this. Give me an answer of why they're saying this. Give me an answer why they say. Why is it saying this?
Leaning on his own understanding.
No. No. Not it. That's not it. Give me a reason of why, on verse 16, why it says this. It says, a sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. Joel Martin hit the nail right on the head. He tried to find every reason and excuse not to do something. Oh, it's too late. It's too this and it's too that. They got all these excuses. But when it's time from they want it from you, they ain't got no excuses. That's a slothful ass spirit, man. You want to talk your way up out of doing some work, man. And there's a lot of brothers and sisters like that in this truth, too. They want to talk their way, thinking you can talk your way up out of some. You can't talk your way out of this, man. You can't talk your way out of this. And there's a lot of brothers and sisters that do that. They want to talk. They think they can talk their way out of this. Oh, man, I can't go over there, man. It's just too much. Okay. Okay. Right? There's a lot of people do that, man. Right? And guess what? And that's right. They out for themselves, man. That's a selfish ass person that'll do that, man.
Good.
That's really a selfish person. Guess what? You find every excuse not to do the work. And there's so many people in this truth that'll do it, man. Jump up to verse 13.
Verse 13. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way.
You see how they go? He just made up some stuff. Because he don't want to do it.
God.
He don't want to do it. Oh, man, I ain't finna go down there. Because this right here might happen. Like, brother, how you know? Well, I just think. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I know. Because I'm going to tell you something. I done got a long way in this truth by trying to keep God's commandments and try not to lean on my own understanding. But I'm telling you something. I recognize when people be on that type of time, and guess what? A lot of times I don't say nothing. I'll be like, okay. And I keep moving. And I keep on moving because I know what's the next step of that, right? Because if a person don't change, you'll be the next one. But read on. He said, a slothful man said, there's a lion in the way. Read.
A lion is in the street.
Guess what kind of lion gonna be walking down the street? Well, if a lion come walking down the street, they're gonna try to kill it or they're gonna capture it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
God.
Okay, let's read.
As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed.
I mean, he'll sleep all day. He said, just as easy as you could turn the door on the hinges. That's how his sleep pattern is. He's so lazy, he don't want to do nothing. Read.
The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom.
He put his hand up on his arm. Read.
It grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth.
Meaning he don't want to wash his ass. He put his hand to his mouth. Ooh, it stank. I mean, he don't want to wash his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Right, read.
The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit.
Read on.
And 7 men that can render a reason.
Because and this is what it's trying to explain it. It's a man that is always wise in his own conceit. It's a slothful man that don't want to get out and do the work. But then they can tell you how to run your stuff and how you supposed to be doing and what you supposed to be doing, but they ain't got no works or nothing. How a person that don't have no works gonna be able to tell you about? Come on, man.
God.
It's so many people, man. You know how many? I just got to put that out there, man. You know how many people don't try to come up in just in a building or in just any camp. They come up into the camps and just wanna tell us how to run things, man. Like, brother, how long you been doing this? Oh, shit. I just had it on my... No, brother, we don't want to hear nothing about you got something on your spirit, brother. Keep all of that. Right? Get built up, man. Then you do this, brother. Or sisters have things on their spirit, too. Sisters be doing the same thing. You know how many times sisters be trying to come tell us what we need to do? And brothers trying to come tell us, bro, look here, man, we ain't trying to... Look. No. No. What's your expertise? No, man. If we being of the Lord, I'm gonna ask y'all something. Do you think when King David, when King David, hey, the man that was on planet that didn't play no games with nobody, when Nathan the prophet told him, do you think Nathan prophet had to get some to question? Come on, man. When Nathan the prophet told King David something, that's just what that was.
God.
That's just what it was. We don't know. He didn't need King David. Guess what? When it was time to tell him, he told him, right? But that's how this run. That's just how this thing run. Just like even thinking about how every woman come up in there, oh, I'm a Proverbs 31. You know you not. No, no, you not. 99.9999999 women on the earth is not no Proverbs 31. Y'all not virtuous. Let's just get that out the way. I can prove it. You want me to prove it? Here you go. Go to Proverbs 31. Let's see if you can meet these criteria. Right? Start at verse 10.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
It's asking a question. It said, who can find a virtuous woman? Read.
For her price is far above rubies.
He said her price is far above rubies. Her price is far above rubies. Meaning what? She got an innumerable number that you can put on. You can put on her that you can't even buy it. This woman value is the best value and the best stock on the planet. But watch this, read it.
The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her.
Hold on. So this virtuous woman, to be virtuous women, first and foremost, do your husband safely trust in all your decisions? Because if he did, he wouldn't have to tell you a damn thing. If he safely trusts in your decision, that meaning he don't have to tell you nothing. Yeah. I know. Put that log in your chimney and burn that one. So if your husband don't safely trust in you, then you're not virtuous. But read on.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
Meaning what? Do you know everything about this man? Watch this. I ain't finna go through all through it. Watch this. Jump down to verse 29.
Verse 29. Me daughters have done virtuously.
Hold on. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot of women that have virtual attributes. We not knocking that. And that ain't something I ain't saying. I ain't saying that a woman don't have virtuous attributes. Just like this said, many daughters have done virtuously. Meaning what? You have virtuous attributes. Many people done a lot of things. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But, guess what? It said many people have done virtuously. Many daughters have done virtuously.
God.
That meaning they had virtuous aspect. They had certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have the total package. Because guess what? You got do you cross this? Can you go through all of this and cross the dots? It said many daughters have done virtuously, but what?
But thou excellest them all.
But if you was a virtuous woman, you excel all the little small attributes that a woman would have. You excel all of that.
God.
Right? That's the main thing about being a virtuous woman, right? It's many daughters that have done virtuously, right? You have done some virtuous stuff, right? But it don't mean that you are the virtuous woman that some of our sisters so claim to do.
You want 30?
Right? No, I don't want 30. This is what we in. This is what we stop at on the virtuous woman, man.
God.
Because some of these things have to be, just thinking about some of these things has to be inclined.
God.
Right? But don't think that a woman can't. Hey, you might cross. Hey, check this out. You might cross 8 out of 10. You might check mark. You might check mark 7 out of. You might check mark 9 out of 10, and the one that you don't check mark is the first one. Your husband don't safely trust in you. Right? Right?
God.
Or you can. It's one of these things you might not cross out. Right? One of these things you just might not cross out. Guess what? I know a lot of times our heart and our desires for our hearts and our desires for to be in the truth. Sometimes we don't set a goal or a standard for ourselves, right? And even though we don't set a goal and standard for ourselves, don't mean that a goal and standard is not set for you with the Most High. You understand that? Because whatever the Lord give you as a job, you're gonna do it.
God.
That's just what it is, right? You think about this. Think about during the time of Jeremiah. We're finna go there. Jeremiah chapter 36. During the time of Jeremiah, when one of the kings was trying to burn the Bible or burn the rolls,
God.
right? Think about that. And they trying to burn the scrolls up. What do you think was taking place? You think that they was for the games, or you think that they was trying to do thus said the Lord? Right?
God.
Because when we look at how scriptures unfold, we do gotta consider that we do gotta consider that the people, it said having all the attributes but lacking the substance is void. That's pretty good, Moses. Because guess what? Us as men in this truth, we got all the attributes, but we lack the substance too, right? We lack the substance. Guess what? It's so many things that can be done in this truth, but a lot of people choose not to do it. All right? It's a lot of people choose not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get us back to where we once was, we have to start changing the way we think. We got to start changing the way that we do, because a lot of time people don't like to play their own role in the truth. And I know, Captain, you already been going to that class for a long time, man. And there's a lot of people don't play their role in this truth, man. Right? Because the reason why a lot of people can't play their own role, because pride. Right? Pride sets in on brothers and sisters, man, and make brothers and sisters not want to do it. I'm going to do what I want to do, but then you're going to meet the Lord, though. Right? You're going to meet them angels along the way. And they'll whoop you back into shape, though. Jeremiah chapter 36, start at verse 1, man.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 36, verse 1. And it came to pass in the 4th year of Jehoiakim,
Right? Read.
the son of Josiah, king of Judah,
Read.
that the word came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, saying.
So the word came unto Jeremiah from the Lord. Now the Most High God is speaking through Jeremiah, man. Right? Read.
Take thee a roll of a book.
So he said, take thee the roll of a book, right? Read.
And write therein all the words that I have spoken unto thee against Israel.
So he said, write everything that I got a problem with Israel, right? Read.
And against Judah.
And against Judah, mean the whole nation, man. Read.
And against all the nations, from the day I spake unto thee, from the days of Josiah, even unto this day.
He said, from Josiah even unto this day.
God.
Right? So he was writing from all the things that he was mad about from right now all the way to now. Well, damn.
A lot of writing.
A lot of writing, ain't it, man? A lot of New Testament, huh? Read it.
It may be that Salakia. It may be that the house of Judah will hear all the evil which I propose to do unto them, that they may return every man from his evil way, that I may forgive their iniquity.
So guess what? And so the Lord said, hey, I'm talking to y'all, Judah. That's why the tents of Judah going to wake up first. Because we seen a lot of evil.
God.
Well, I say the tents, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right? Well, we woke up so we can wake the rest of the nations up, man. The Lord finna kill us, man. Y'all better get your ass right, man. Right? So he told Jeremiah to take a roll and write down what he's speaking. So the task was hard, so the Lord sent who? He sent Baruch the scribe to him.
God.
Right? So when it's from the Lord, that's why when you know things are from the Lord will set it up in place. Anything that's from the Lord will set things up in place to make sure everything goes through the right way.
God.
But when it's not from the Lord, you'll see all the hiccups go all along the way.
God.
Right? But the attributes come when you see it's set up the right way, then you'll start getting the hiccups along the way as it go. But from the beginning, it has to be a good foundation to be able to survive what's going to come. Why do you think when Christ is talking about, it says, if it does not have a good foundation, when the wind comes and is blowing vehemently against the house, it will fall.
God.
But when it sets up a good foundation, guess what? When the wind blowing vehemently, it won't fall. So that meaning when it comes from the Lord, it has to be out good, right? It has to be good from the beginning, right?
God.
Well, watch this, read it.
Verse 4. Then Jeremiah called Baruch, the son of Neriah.
All right.
And Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the Lord which he had spoken unto him upon a roll of a book.
So he literally, everything he told Jeremiah, everything Jeremiah was speaking out, Baruch literally went over there and wrote all those things out. Thus said the Lord, man. Read.
And Jeremiah commanded Baruch, saying, I am shut up. I cannot go into the house of the Lord.
So he said that, guess what, man? I can't leave this place. Wherever I'm at right now, I can't leave. The Lord told me to do this. This is what I'm going to do.
God.
Right? Read on.
Therefore, go thou and read in the roll which thou hast written from my mouth.
He said, everything that you wrote from what I told you to write down, what the Lord gave me, go read this to the people. Read on.
The words of the Lord in the ears of the people in the Lord's house upon the fasting day.
From the what?
Upon the fasting day.
It says upon the fasting day. What was the fasting day?
Atonement.
The atonement. Right? But at this time, guess what they had? Just right. Right? But at this time, guess what? They was going into doing other things too.
Okay.
But watch this, don't read.
And also thou shalt read them in the ears of all Judah that come out of their cities.
Right, read on.
It may be they will present their supplications before the Lord, and will return every one from his evil way. For great is the anger and the fury that the Lord hath pronounced against this people.
Right, read on.
And Baruch, the son of Neriah, did according to all that Jeremiah the prophet commanded him, reading in the book the words of the Lord in the Lord's house.
Right, so they was in the Lord's house, meaning what? They was in the temple.
God.
Right? Bringing thus said the Lord, man.
God.
Right? Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. Now it came to pass, when they had heard all these words, they were afraid both one and other, and said unto Baruch, we will surely tell the king of all these words.
So guess what? They was afraid. Because Baruch was telling them, thus said the Lord. Right? I'm going to give you some of what Baruch was saying. Go to Baruch chapter 6. Give you something.
What, that 25?
I mean, that's going in. It's basically going into this whole chapter going into what Baruch was trying to read to the people.
You want me to start at 1?
Start at 1.
The book of Baruch, chapter 6, verse 1. Because of the sins which ye have committed before God,
right,
ye shall be led away captives into Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians.
Right, read on.
So when ye be come into Babylon, ye shall remain there many years, and for a long season, namely 7 generations.
Right, so he said you're going to stay in Babylon for 7 generations, read.
And after that, I will bring you away peaceably from thence. Now shall ye see in Babylon gods of silver.
So you said when you make it to Babylon, you're going to see gods of silver, read.
And of gold.
And of gold, read.
And of wood.
And of wood.
Borne upon shoulders which cause the nations to fear.
Right, and they're going to be carried upon shoulders, meaning what? It's going to be military, it's going to be might, and it's going to have all the nations to fear. They're going to have war. They're going to have instruments of wars and everything, right, read.
Beware, therefore, that ye in no wise be like to strangers, neither be ye afraid of them, when ye see the multitude before them and behind them worshiping them.
Right.
But say ye in your hearts, O Lord, we must worship thee.
So guess what? He said, if you see all these idols, don't do what the idols do. Guess what? No, I don't care what they doing. We're going to worship you. God. It's giving a full warning before you even going into Babylon.
God.
Right? Read.
Verse 7. For my angel is with you, and I myself caring for your soul. So
he said, my angel is with you. Wow, what angel did the Lord send with them?
Yeah, how was
Let's go to Exodus 23. This is that he said, don't be afraid of them, because I'm going to send my angel with you. What angel did he send? He says Christ. Right? Exodus 23 and 20.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 20.
Big con, Abraham.
Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way.
To keep thee in the way, read.
And to bring thee into the place which I have prepared.
Right.
Beware of him.
The Lord said, beware of him, read.
And obey his voice.
And he said, you better obey him. Read.
Provoke him not.
Don't provoke this angel, read.
For he will not pardon your transgression.
Why?
For my name is in him.
So whatever the Lord commanded this angel to do, it's gonna take it out.
God. Verse 22.
No, that's it. That's all I want.
Like you.
Out of that.
You want me to go back to Baruch?
No, that's what I wanted in Baruch.
Okay.
Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 36. Where we leave off at? Verse 16?
I believe so.
Read verse 16 again.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 36, verse 16. Now it came to pass, when they had heard all the words, they were afraid both one and other, and said unto Baruch, we will surely tell the king of all these words. And they asked Baruch, saying, tell us now, how didst thou write all these words at his mouth?
Right.
Then Baruch answered them, he pronounced all these words unto me with his mouth, and I wrote them with the ink in the book.
You see how that go, man? He said, how did you write all of this? He said, fool, he just told me and I wrote it down. Why do you think that we be on brothers and sisters about taking notes?
God.
That's why we be on brothers and sisters about taking notes, man.
Good notes.
Real good notes. Right? Read.
Let's see here. Verse 19. Then said the princes unto Baruch, Go, hide thee, thou and Jeremiah, and let no man know where ye be.
So he tell you better go hide. Don't let nobody know where y'all at, man. Because guess what? Did you hear what they said? They was going to tell the king everything that Baruch told them. And he didn't write that for them. He wrote that for the children of Israel. So they didn't supposed to tell everybody. But they did it anyway, huh? Verse 21.
Verse 21. So the king sent Jehudi to fetch the roll, and he took it out of, Elishma, the scribe's chamber.
Right.
And Jehudi read it in the ears of the king.
Jehuiada.
Yeah. And he read it in the ears of the king.
And he read in the ears of the king, read.
And in the ears of all the princes which stood beside the king.
Right.
Now the king sat in the winter house in the 9th month, and there was a fire on the hearth burning before him.
Right, read.
And it came to pass that when, you said Jehuiada, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jehuiada had read 3 or 4 leaves, he cut it with the penknife and cast it into the fire.
So he said he read 3 or 4 leaves, meaning he read 3 or 4 pages or 3 or 4 chapters. Right, read.
That was on the hearth until all the roll was consumed in the fire that was on the earth.
So this food done burnt down. It burnt all the stuff that this man should see here. All the work they put in, he just burnt that stuff up, man. That was sad in the mud.
That's crazy.
Right? Watch it. Jump down to verse 27.
Verse 27. Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. After that, the king had burned the roll.
So after the king burned the roll, the Lord said, you know what? I'm going to put this word back in Jeremiah again, man. Read.
And the words which Baruch wrote at the mouth of Jeremiah, saying,
Right, what did he say?
Take thee again another roll, and write in it all the former words that were in the first roll.
So he said, everything you wrote down, I'm going to give you the same thing again to write down again.
God.
Right?
God.
Read.
Which Jehoiakim, the king of Judah, had burned.
Right?
And thou shalt say unto Jehoiakim, king of Judah, thus say the Lord, thou hast burned this roll, saying, why hast thou written therein, saying the kings of Babylon shall certainly come and destroy this land, and shall cause to cease from thence man and beast. So
guess what? He asked you, said, so why would you, this fool was mad because this dude telling them.
What, he burned, he thought it wasn't going to happen?
Yes.
That's crazy, bro.
Said, why did you say all of this, man? Right? So now he telling them like, look, it's what you think this. Go to Romans 3 right quick. We're going back. Three and 3.
The book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
What if some did not believe? Read.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
Read on.
God forbid.
Say God forbid, man. It's not going to change nothing.
God.
The Lord said they was going into, we read when Baruch chapter 6 is showing us that the Lord said he finna send them into captivity.
God.
He literally said that that's what they finna go do.
God.
What, you think he wasn't finna make good on that? Read.
God forbid.
He said, God forbid, read.
Yea, let God be true.
Let God be true and
but
read
every
on.
man a liar.
This is the perfect example for it, read.
As it is written, thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
Let's go back, man. So to look at this fool, think it was gonna change something.
God.
Right? But read. Go back to Jeremiah chapter 36. Where we at? Verse 20.
I believe we had, you said
28.
28?
Yeah.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 36, verse 28. Take these again, another roll, and write it all the former words that were in the first roll, which Jehoiakim, king of Judah, had burned.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt say to Jehoiakim, king of Judah, thus say the Lord, thou hast burned this roll, saying, why hast thou written therein this roll, saying, the king of Babylon shall certainly come and destroy this land, and shall cause to cease from thence man and beast.
Right, read.
Therefore, thus say the Lord of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, he shall have none to sit upon the throne of David, and his dead body shall be cast out in the day to the heat, and in the night to the frost.
Right. Right, read.
And I will punish him and his seed and his servants for their iniquity, and I will bring upon them and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem and upon the men of Judah all the evil that I have pronounced against them, but they hearken not.
Read.
Then took Jeremiah another roll and gave it to Baruch, the scribe, the son of Neriah, who wrote therein from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the book which Jehoiakim, king of Judah, had burned in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And there were added besides unto them many like words.
Said meaning what? That's why you get this right here in the book.
Mm-hmm.
All of this. Right?
Yeah.
This is what this come from. That's why you'll see, if you got one of these right here, apocryphal, you'll see Jeremiah epistles.
Mm-hmm.
Baruch chapter 6.
Come.
Right? This is all the things that he was breaking down. Right? Telling them this is finna happen. You ain't, hey. And it was like it said, and it was many other things that the Lord said it was finna take place. And it just had, and it needs be. Right?
Come.
There's many other things. It wasn't just the carrying away of Babylon. It was telling them, talking about their idols and how their idols gonna be destroyed, and about the temple, about everything.
You know what made me think about? When the handwriting was on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and they try to act like
Yeah.
it wasn't gonna get written up there again.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Like it's not finna happen again, man.
Damn.
This is thus says Yahweh the power, man.
God.
If we say it, that's what it is, man.
Hallelujah.
Right? We can't just think, that thing's gonna happen, because I'm tell you, that's a sickness in the brothers, right? That's a sickness that a brother will have, right? And that's where you see the division in things. They would think to try to rewrite something that the Lord's saying. The Lord already gave the information on what it was,
Mm-hmm.
right? Go to Proverbs chapter 18 right quick. Proverbs chapter 18. Verse 14.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 14. The spirit of man will sustain his infirmity.
It says, so the spirit of man gonna sustain his infirmity, meaning what? Your body itself. Brothers and sisters, your body is a well-oiled machine. The Lord made your body perfect. Meaning, if you get a disease or if you get a sickness, your body, the Lord designed your body to heal itself.
God. Say that again.
The Lord literally made man and woman body to heal itself. This is the main point. If you get shot, they're going to induce you with all kind of medicine to do what? Make you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
If you get sick, what do you have to do to get healed? Go to sleep. The same thing that heals the body is sleep.
God. And fasting.
Right?
God.
Including with fasting,
Mm-hmm.
including with praying. But in this context, we're not talking about nothing else.
God.
We're talking about the body. It says, a spirit of a man will sustain his infirmities. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, this meaning going into whatever man think it, he is. If you thinking yourself to be sick, you will be that.
God.
We have to get it. Hey, sometimes people get around people. Who he coughing? Who he coughing? Man, you know how many times Big Mama and Mama done sit around babies and stuff being coughing all over them, and they don't feel nothing. They just trying to help get the babies healed.
Mm-hmm.
How many times the mama been around the children or daddy been around the children? I know many nights I done sit up with my boys when they was little babies, crying like a mother. They sick. Trying to get them to sleep. Nose stopped up, trying to blow the boogers out their nose. Right? No, many nights like that. But you take sleep. Guess what? If you think in your mind, we got to start changing the way we think about things. That's why if your spirit's strong enough, we got to strengthen our spirit up, man. This is the time for us not to be, this ain't the time for us to be weak. This is a time for us to start getting stronger in the spirit. God. Stop letting these infirmities and these sickness get to us. Hell, the last Sabbath class I did, I couldn't even see the left side of the damn room, man. I don't even know brothers and sisters even knew that. I had a headache so bad, I couldn't even see the left side of the room. Then the night was beside me. Only way I could be able to see him, I had to do just like this. And turn around and look at him. God. That's the only way I could see him. I couldn't even see him at my peripheral. Because I didn't let my mental, because guess what? The longer if you say that and you want to fight against that mug, if you give into it, then that's where it be. Right? God. But we got to make sure that we keep ourselves strong, because guess what? I'm not saying all things can't hurt people and you can't get sick and you can't do this, because those things will come about. But we got to rebuke those things too. God. The same way it came in, the same way you rebuke that mud to get it out. Right? It said the spirit of man will sustain his infirmities, right? God. Well, read. But
a wounded spirit, who can bear?
So, but a wounded spirit, meaning an unfaithful spirit. Mm-hmm. If you lack faith, who can bear it? God. Right? That's why we got to start strengthening up our spirit, man. This ain't the time to be playing around. We literally have to strengthen our spirit. Why you think the Lord said the kingdom of heaven is within us? We can make the choices if we want to go to the kingdom or not. Right? We can make the choice, man. God. It's time for us to start strengthening ourselves up, because guess what? We are in the time of winter, right? We are in the time of the mean season. God. It's time for us to strengthen ourselves up, because we lack so much goddamn on faith that to the point that a man can't. We don't want to lean on our God. We don't want to lean on these scriptures. It's all about, I just want to be sick, because y'all already know. Most men, guess what? We are babies when we get sick, man. But it ain't nothing but a spirit, man. God. Sickness is a spirit, man. It's a physical sickness and it's a spiritual sickness. But if you can get the mind, if that sickness got the mind, that body gone, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because how many people grew up knowing that pain is 70% mental? Yeah. How many people grew up knowing that? Pain is 70% mental. So if you see a flesh wound, and every time I look at it, I cry. Ooh, I look at it and I cry. The more I look at it and cry, the more it's gonna hurt. Yep. Right?
It's true.
Guess what? The more I look at my something going on, it's gonna hurt. The more I see it hurt me so bad. Mm-hmm. But the scripture make it plain to us, though, right? That's why we got to make sure when we dissect the scripture, when we getting ourselves together. That's why why did you think the Lord sent the disciples to heal the broken heart? You got to strengthen our mind first, and everything else will follow it. Right? Matthew chapter 10 and verse 8. Why you think the Lord strengthened our mind first? Why you think the Lord, guess what? He gonna give us new bodies. He gonna give us all that. But he gotta change our way. He gotta change our mind. Right? He got to really change our mind, man. Matthew chapter 10, verse 8.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 8. Heal the sick. Cleanse the lepers.
It said, heals the sick, cleanse the lepers, man. Read.
Raise the dead.
And raise the dead, read.
Cast out devils. Freely ye have received.
Read.
Freely give.
You see how that go? Freely have you received, freely have you give. Right? This is why we got to pray for brothers and sisters, making sure brothers and sisters, man, be on point, man. I be praying for all the time that brothers and sisters can have their mind strengthened. Right? I be praying all the time for brothers and sisters to get themselves in the right frame of thinking, man. Right? The Lord said, freely have you received, freely have you give.
God. Right?
This ain't the time to be backing off. This is a time for healing. This is a time for understanding, man. Right? There's a lot of our people, man, even in there's a lot of our people even they finna celebrate all these wicked holidays.
God.
Guess what? They see, guess what? They see what you stand on. And they can't believe it. Right? And we gotta keep holding on strong. That's how we heal the sick, man. Because if you give in, guess what? You just as sick as they sick. Yep. Right? We got to be healed, man. Our nation got to be healed. This ain't the time for not to want the healing. If our mindset can't change, the healing process ain't gonna start, man. Our mind has to change. They said if you kill the head, the body will die. Right? You got to start somewhere. Brothers got to start strengthening themselves, man. Right? These be spirits be on brothers and sisters. Guess what? Just like even a woman on a cycle is a spirit, right? It's a spirit of infirmity, right? Say what? Luke chapter 13. Luke chapter 13. I say these be spirits, man. Here you go. Read Luke chapter 13, verse 10.
The book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 10. And he was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Sabbath.
So he was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Sabbath. Read.
And behold, there was a woman which had a spirit of infirmity.
What that mean? He said the woman had a spirit of infirmity. You see how they go? Them be spirits. Right? The woman had a spirit of infirmity on her, man. Right? This is why I say that you have to change your mind of thinking. Read.
And was bowed together and could in no wise lift herself up.
So this woman, she said this woman was bowed. She couldn't even lift herself up, man. The infirmity was on her so bad. Right, Read?
And when Yahushua saw her, he called her to him and said unto her, Woman, thou art loose from thine infirmity.
Right, Read.
And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight and glorified God.
Right, so guess what? These be spirits be on people, man.
God.
This is what we have to. This is why I say this is how people have to start changing the way we think, man.
God, that's deep right there, though.
And if we don't think, that's why you got to be able to fight it off. If you, the Lord is seeing if you got faith enough to want that fight, man. Because a lot of times we don't want. We gonna relish in it. We think that it ain't. But guess what, man? The more you be in this truth, the stronger you should be trying to get, man.
God. It was crazy. That spirit jumped off of her and jumped right on the dude in the synagogue. Right up there, jumped off of him.
That's right. That's the reason why. And what he's doing, this is written in the law. Go to Exodus chapter 23 and verse. Watch this. Watch this, brothers and sisters. Go to Exodus 23 and verse 25. Matter of fact, we're gonna use it as a law too. Okay. Cause it's getting kind of late, and but I had kind of touched on a lot more stuff that I really wanted, but I'll praise to the Most High for that though.
God. The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 25.
Verse 25, read it.
And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread.
So he said, you shall serve the Lord your God, and he's going to bless your bread, read.
And thy water.
And your water, read.
And I will take sickness away from the midst of thee.
You see that stuff, man?
Come.
Just that simple, man.
Come.
He said, I'm going to bless your bread and water, and I'm going to take away the sickness from you.
Come.
Right? Knowing that, guess what? We have the greater battle. Right? And this is the reason why we have to keep ourselves in a frame of mind to be thinking about thus said Yahweh the power, man. Right? We will always want to get ourselves in a frame of mind to be thinking thus said the Lord. Because when we don't think thus said the Lord, we think thus said, hey, yes, thus said me or thus said Satan, man. Right? Thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in, man. Y'all like it, y'all share the video, help us push the truth around the four corners of the earth.
Come.
I say thank y'all, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. Still need to be, we still need to be trying to pay for the building. Still need to be trying to push this truth. Hey, man, y'all, hey, if y'all get to the GoFundMe, Cash App, all kind of outlets to try to help us push this truth, man. Y'all help us push it. We're going to keep it going, man. Thank y'all, brothers and sisters, tuning in. I hope y'all have a good week. Hey, if y'all just like me, man, we might, hey, I know I got a short week. All praises. I'm glad I got a short week, too. Shit. But, all praises to the Most High for your brothers and sisters tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Come.
Brothers and sisters.
Come.
And with that, we say,
Shalom.
shalom. Y'all see that big coat E-Hood got on?
I can't hate on that big coat, you know.
Florida, man.
Yes, sir.
With that, we say shalom.
Shalom.